Hello everyone, and welcome to your first video tutorial for making the Berkeley Times. So if you are in our publication design after school club, or if you are in group C or D of our middle school beginning designers, you're going to use this tutorial and this website to help you get started. So when you go to middle school digital media, group C and D are the ones that are working with beginning design as well as after school club. So make sure that you're in group C and D and you go ahead and go to Unit 3, Berkeley Times Coder 1. I'm already on that page, so I'm not going to click it. First, when you get to this page, you're going to look for the Berkeley Times Planner. This is where your assignment that you've been given or that you choose for your page that you will be in charge of for the Berkeley Times is located. So this quarter, the first quarter, you've been assigned a page, and in the next quarters, you'll be able to choose your own page. So if you click on that, it's going to open up this document called 2015-16 Berkeley Times Planner. The first page shows each quarter what the due dates will be for the articles. This is for the teachers. This is when they have to have their articles due for you so that you can start working. If you scroll down to the second page, this is the one that we'll be using for the publication design team sign up. You can see that I have already have the students placed next to the page numbers that they'll be completing. So if I am Annika, I'll go down until I see my name, and I'll see that Annika is doing one page, page 22, and on that one page, Art and IT will be placed. So she'll have to think about how to divide that page so that she can keep 2 articles on that. I'm going to show Jazzy as an example today because I know that pre-K and K1's articles are finished as well as their pictures. So if I was Jazzy, I'm going to look, okay, Jazzy's in charge of page 6. But that includes 2 rows. That means that there's 2 articles. So she needs to find pre-K and K1. All the articles are located in the multimedia drive. The multimedia drive is accessed through computer. Click on multimedia. And then, of course, it's going to be in the Berkeley Times, articles and photos. The year that we're in is 15-16. And we are doing the first quarter. So pre-K and K1 are part of our kindergarten department, so she's going to look in there first. If you're in charge of grade 2 or 3, you'd look in elementary. If you're in charge of library or IT, those are elective teachers. If you're in charge of something like the Halloween Carnival or student council or even Mother's or Father's Day, Y Crew, those are special events. But since I'm doing pre-K and K1, I'm going to go ahead and click on kindergarten. I'm going to start looking at pre-K. So I can see here that pre-K has her article and pre-K teacher has her photo. So Becky's substitute teacher was doing that. And I can highlight both of those. And then I'll fill it in green to indicate that those articles are there. Now I need to check to make sure that my K1 article is there. So I'm in kindergarten again. Click on K1 and I can see your article along with several pictures are included. The article is always in a Word document file. So I can select the cell and mark it green. Select the picture cell and mark that green as well to indicate that it was finished. If you notice the article is not finished or not turned in or the pictures, you can mark it red and that will be a flag for me to email that teacher. Now I don't need to be the only one emailing the teachers. If you see that Miss Sadie hasn't turned in her article, I may task you with emailing her and CCing me to ask her to please drop her article in the proper file. Now that we know all the articles are there, it's time to read them. So I'm ready to read K1, and I read the entire article so that I know what it is about. After I read K1, then I'll read pre-K and read again the whole thing so that you know what it's about. That way you can choose the best photos and you can choose the best layout. Now, you don't need to proof the article if there's any mistakes. Mr. Brantley in the library is the one that will be proofing, and he will fill in this box green once he's finished. Remember, do not insert the article until this is green into your InDesign file. That will be for later, but it's good to mention now. Let's go back to our website and see. I first found my articles and I read it, so I'm done with that. So let's look for number 2. Step 2, look for an example layout that you could use as inspiration based on your article's content. For the first few designs, and maybe all designs, I want you to be inspired by something. The easiest way to be inspired by something is by looking at another magazine layout that you would like to copy. We're going to be copying or using that same design closely in the beginning and then more loosely once you get more confident. So one place I can look is Pinterest or Google image search. So if I go on Pinterest, I can type in design layout and I can scroll through tons of different layouts. Now I want to keep this simple because it's for kindergarten and for myself because it's my first time doing this. You know what? I really like this one. Here I think that I could put pictures, maybe an article, another picture, some more pictures, and articles here. Now I'm only doing one page, so I have to ignore this half of it and kind of just use this template for a layout. If that is the inspiration I'm going off of, my final design should look similar to this. You need to print this page so you can have it right in front of you in your IT portfolio, and that when I ask to see your inspiration, I know where you're coming from. After I found my inspiration, then you will decide on your color palette. These will be the colors that you'll use on your page. You can choose 3 to 5 colors, no more than that. We are going to be using something called Adobe Color to decide on our colors. Sorry, let me go back just for a second. Inspiration Hut can also be used to find inspiration, or Google image search. Graphic Stock is a place, I'm going to show you that first. Sorry to backtrack. Graphic Stock is a place that we have a subscription to, or I should say Miss Ashley has a subscription to, that will give you some great backgrounds that you might want to use in your layout. So I'm just going to search backgrounds, and you can see the kind of things that are there. Now this does require a username and password, and that is available for you right here on my site. So here are some of the backgrounds that you might consider using. And these all download in a file that can be opened in InDesign. I don't need any of these backgrounds for the inspiration I have, but if you're working on something that requires something a little bit more complicated or complex or well developed, you might choose Graphic Stock. You can also use this to find some icons and logos. So let's go back to our steps here. Double check, we did number 1, we did number 2, we have our inspiration, and back to 3, the color palette. So if you click on this, it's going to open a website that is very useful, and it's called Adobe Color. I'm going to show you just the basics of what Adobe Color does, but you will be able to play with that a little bit more on your own time. So Adobe Color is just a great way for you to find some color palettes of colors that go together. Now I'm going to choose Triad. This is going to give me 3 colors from around the color wheel. But they also go well together. One of them is a monochromatic. But I'm doing a kindergarten page, so I want to choose some bright colors. So this is one I really like. The red, the blue, and a yellow. I'm only going to choose 3 colors. When you choose your color palette, the information that you'll want to keep in mind are the CMYK values. If you choose a color palette and you are not ready to put it in InDesign yet, it's a good idea to take a screenshot or use a snipping tool to take a screenshot of the color palette so that you can remember not only what they look like, but also the CMYK codes. Alright, that will be it for this tutorial. So be sure that you follow those first 3 steps and reflect back on this video tutorial if you need help.